well, stressed it in detail.
Okay, we got Navi on defense, we got BBL on attack. Dude, what is this? We got a sheriff? Who donated the sheriff over? Magnum.
The last 4 times, this the 5th.
Poor guy.
Starting on the defense, you can already see the protocols in place.
Got sheriff
Early
armor for the
positioning
pistol.
Angel outside of A. Stacked setup C to be tested.
Mound fight easily won.
3C.
Utility.
As well, they got solid bait into the corner. Smoke goes out for them to try prod. Dude, look at the timing on that smoke. Holy.
At the same time, gets the entry.
Yeah, so much damage offloaded in that exchange. I mean, BBL, they
Well,
can't have the green light and hit C simply based
pretty
on
good
the fact
ante
that
for the pistol.
util ran out,
Navi, you
and
gotta
now
give him
with
that one.
Angel reinforcing the A lobby side. The barrier mesh going up.
Ardent spots with the prime.
Further
Thanks so
time
much
for
to 4
Navi
mums.
to
Thanks for
reset.
doing that.
It's a 5 versus 3, and well, BBL have to give
I
up
appreciate
all
you
the
coming
ground
over and
they've
doing
got
that
on
as well,
sand.
dude. Thank you for that.
Still though, you look towards Angel all alone on the east side. Untradeable. He knows what he needs to do.
I mean, they can just wait it out.
Backing off and playing a lot more passive.
There was also a cam up in sand as well.
Dude, they
that
got to
only
go
just
get
got
up
broken
against
by
the
Yampi
deadlock
on the way
first
out,
time
so
on attack as
little
well.
bit
It's
of
a
an information
nightmare.
vacuum, but very quickly that void is filled. Navi now know. The
Smartney,
captain
thanks so much for the
calling
prime as well. Thank you for the
it
3
in, where
months, bro.
BBL will look
Appreciate
to
that.
end this.
Something that BBL have been very good at is fighting back in 1vx's, 2vx's, and a 3 versus 5.
I mean,
Can they do it
maybe
here?
Profec can own it on the lark.
Question you're asking, and it's going to come through some clever positioning, perhaps. Yampi leading the charge, Sociable right behind him. 2 players walking into the stairwell, and 2 making an approach from spawn.
Chance, you've got to be looking towards that beat.
Yeah, I think they're fine. They clear all the sight. They got at least half from this.
Yeah, I mean, just going to defuse here. You need a player to get
on.
off the defuse, but Yampi comes at the
Off
right time.
into
Still
full.
the defuse
Well,
coming through, and Navi gets
straight
the
up still
pistol.
the defuse.
Sociable's going to walk
I mean,
away.
it's not too bad from
Wipe
the
slate clean.
the 3
That's
from
a
BBL did
frustrating
pretty
way
good
to
there.
lose the first.
To be
We know
honest,
that BBL's
just the
pistols
fact
have
that
been good.
Navi went
Best
5
worldwide,
sight or
so
4 sight, I
they
guess,
say.
into the defuse.
And that always comes through the slight deviation in terms of preparation, but this round, when you
Dude,
go
Navi had the
2
most
players
perfect
down,
setup for
you're
this
never
pistol,
going to be
though.
falling back on what that preparation looks like. It's always plan B.
Something to keep our eye on as well as we move through this
Who did I
map.
pick here? I picked Navi.
11, right? It's been feast or famine for him.
Oh
on
boy,
the
this is
duelist.
big right now.
Something interesting about him on
1,
the jet.
2, 3,
He's
4. There can be
tied
1 shot.
first in
Wait, this
first
is actually
kill
huge.
percentage per round, right? But he's
Who has
also
it?
third
Boom.
in first deaths per round from stage 1.
That's exactly it.
70% win rate of pistols. That's why it
Ever since the
changed.
Liquid game, he's always gone positive in
I
first
originally had
engagements,
BBL,
they do still
but
take a heavy toll.
damn,
That's
dude.
another one of
They
them.
have a
Koala with the
71% win
punish.
rate in
This
stage 1 on
round for
pistols.
BBL, a bit
You
of a
can't keep that
write-off.
up.
It is just
So that's why I changed to
Outlaw, which is now
Navi.
exchanged hands, and as Profec reloads it, Navi should know. Absolutely no reason to give BBL what they
I
want.
mean, that was nuts, by the way, from
Big
Koala.
investment into towards your Antico.
Something that we've seen the other Turkish team do as well. Foot, they have been playing the exact same way, looking to try and
Yeah,
set
got to
up Zeus,
re-clear over
both
towards A.
duelists from last year
You already got the
in
deadlock
Turkish
util set up.
Challenger League.
Here comes the Gravnet once you commit.
Through this A rubble fight once again as the util comes through. But
Ooh.
looks like taking that peak. Brings it back to 4 versus 4. Angel in a do or die position.
Dude,
He's the only player
Angel
here,
is...
so he's got to try and go scorched earth.
Surely not.
Does it clear him?
No way.
Clear the corner, so how
There's
much
no
more does Angel
way.
get?
30 seconds left.
There's only one player pathing into him, like you say. Sociable has to open up the door for a second time, but Angel still not quite going for this timing. Now the
Oh my god, he's on
comes
top
through
of
and
it.
he drops.
You must have saw him.
This is going to be massive hazard.
15 seconds. What are they doing with the
Still
spike?
to make its way onto site, and look at the time.
10 seconds or so. That's factoring in the spike plant, and still BBL not quite getting to work. Yampi finally
big
drops it to the
stun,
deck, but
it's a
so
big
does the
nade.
rest of his squad. Koala makes it 3 on the round.
Kind of doable for
In
Profec.
this 1 versus 2 still has you on the edge of your seat. It's a spray that could line up for him. He's got the
Whoa.
burst.
Bro, like,
Rochelle saves
I don't know,
the
man.
day.
He was a little too calm for
Navi
my liking
through
with that
the
Spectre. I
anti-eco,
think he can run and gun
but
a little
not
bit more
without
than
a
that.
scratch or two.
Yeah, playoffs drama, getting close, tight margins. I mean, that's what you'd imagine between these two, our mega Seed 2
Incredible
and
damage,
Seed 3
yeah.
from Alpha. Now we head in towards BBL's rifle.
They don't buy too
They've
much
done
into their buy
so
rounds, so they
much
actually have like
damage
2
to
rifles,
Navi
right?
that
On
this
defense.
bonus should be not much of a conversation.
true.
3 rifles, I guess.
In terms of converting those rounds, Na'Vi do not sit particularly high in the pecking order. I think the main focus for me coming into this full buy has to be for BBL converting from post-plant positions, but then also getting yourself in post-plant, even like 5v5, 4v4, something like that, because I have to say right
Wait,
now...
they just force on defense?
Evan to lead the charge into sand once more, and supported by both initiators, they've already dumped utility.
Maybe because of the outlaw buy, I guess?
Those ultimates.
Dude, either way, I mean, this now is whoever wins it forces the other team to an eco. I don't know if that's the right choice from Na'Vi, really, but...
Util is there, but Levin just trying to bypass this, actually grouping up with Yampy instead, wrapping around the side. That's where the Stinger gets involved.
Dude, look at my entry breach, by the way. My entry breach. He's absolutely sent it. Yeah, and this is costly from Na'Vi. I really hate the NA buy, but...
Investment and players ready to fight. With that being said, 2 players to the good. BBL should have this done and dusted.
Looking at the money, Ruxic should be inclined to save it. Oh, and Shao as well, I was going to say. It's just the Guardian that you're holding on to. Do you want to throw that into the situation? Keep it for the next round. I think that's the option that they've elected for here. So much better from BBL. Just quick, efficient trades. We've seen them a couple of times now condition that refreshable utility.
Yampy's good with a
Stinger.
Stinger.
Time they act upon it.
And I think as well, Levin is the only one that dies. And I made a point of saying, like,
yeah, now they've got an eco.
High, right? But he's getting value in the sense of the value of the space. And not only that, his tradability as well, which I really like from BBL. It's nice and simple.
Of course, Levin as well moving back onto the jet, a little more dynamic in terms of his gap close. You saw the updraft used there, and it's actually Yampy's double.
Dude, I like that from Yampy though. He takes the hit of taking the Stinger. He's absolutely sending it. Has his ult for this round as well. They might not even use it on this. Like, they should use it on this just to get their money good, but... Ah, dude, they're in a great spot. It's like getting all their ults online. Irish Mamba with the tier 1. Thank you for the 5 months, mate. Appreciate that.
Back to how Na'Vi are playing this, as you can see, Hero
dude, every single time though, every single time they go aggro over towards C, they're pretty much just set up with the deadlock. BBL keeping this so simple. Breach ult, just hit over towards C, hits 2, didn't hit the Omen.
Hero at the back of site opts to back out and play the numbers, although how many numbers are really going to be left here? It's a 3 versus 5.
Shots.
And Levin's on the hunt.
Yeah, that insatiable hunger that he holds, not going to stop until he's put in the ground. Na'Vi down to the 2 Sentinel players, both on pistols.
I mean, this is still nice from Yampy. I liked his entering on the round prior. I liked his calling on this round. His Utah was nice.
I think the big narrative point for this round, for me at least, for BBL in terms of those entries, and
like he's not overthinking this. He's just, I've got a breach ult. Let's head over towards C. 3-person on C. They'll win it out. Lose 1 only. To be honest, the duel from Ruxic and Levin was like everything.
But here already, you're seeing they value the fact that you can just hit C quickly. Yampy's steps being heard, but Angel giving nothing away.
Na'Vi win the second round barely. I mean, yeah, they pretty much nearly lost it in the 1v1.
As well is the fact that Na'Vi actually tried to fight for Mount, right? When you think towards the 3 players.
Dude, the updraft over the flash.
It was a team blind. The only reason Shao dies there is because he was blinded by Ruxic.
I think he would have died anyway. Breach ult.
But for this round, moving into the next one, that C Mountain fight, they're not wanting to go for it. BBL, they're going to opt for Rubble instead.
Still no op.
The Rays come through time and time again, and the showstoppers
okay,
available.
Well, he had the option.
It is. Kualanu back on a roll, which he gave up.
Maybe because he has his ult. Oh boy, okay, well, that explains it.
BBL reset.
Dude, he's still going? You can chill.
That's where they're going to have to jump on Koala.
Why are they all still going?
Still standing
You
out
guys,
in the
yeah, there we
open.
go.
The only player nearby is Ruxic and Tree.
Yanado, thank you so much for the tier 1, man. Appreciate the 4 months. Is this with Teonath? No. Only the Yoru and Astronath.
Move with the ebb and flow.
Teonath won't be until Toronto.
He'll have eyes on the attacker spawn. Meanwhile, BBL, try go B.
And Shao has shown his hand, but this positioning main is so strong. Taking the B site now, especially with Hero closing the net, means that BBL are stricken for options, and A looks like the only real outcome.
I have to look towards Ruxic. A man who's had an uptick in performance, and well, it's Shao and Angel are the ones instead to get the kills. Ruxic now to add on top, but it's Yampy. Imagine find himself a little pocket on the side.
Well,
Ruxic will get that
probably
kill.
won't be going aggro A again. It'll be interesting because they definitely could go aggro A. The only reason lost because of Razor.
Was trying to do a little bit of limit testing on the previous round, and having brought that now into this, they do get the early info. There are rotations there. You're seeing the reaction as well from Shao to take the B main space, and as soon as that happens, he has a strong position here late. And BBL aren't able to set up that layering, the positioning that allows them to win in post where they have struggled. But another huge round coming up.
Still no timeout or anything.
A lot more default.
The first person to get up the op is Sociable and Teo. Well, respect. Take out the jump peak. And like open side now as well. Drone to secure it. No on the close left because of the TP. I mean, that's nice, dude.
Exactly. Levin's just going to dive bomb straight in, blades in hand. Takes the elevated positioning.
It's also really nice because they got it out early, so over towards C, Hero might end up having to use like camera info instead of jump peeking again. Like getting punished this early, you don't want to be doing it again. You don't want to cost your team 2 big buy rounds by getting picked by an op, so you have to play a little bit safer with this.
This is all space denial, but Angel still has the ult, now investing it. What? Looking to connect to anything, NAVI 2 kills back.
Dude, this is mayhem.
Still
no plant.
Seeing with them, Spike drop towards Bend. Still a bit of time for BBL to make an adjustment, pivot away from this. That looks like exactly what they're going to do. As soon as the support of Sociable arrives, the door is turned, and B is on notice.
Evans blades manages to dodge the sonic sensor, a tap of the spike for a bait.
Now, well, but look at the space that they made on C. That's so nice.
Dude,
this is a sick 2v3.
Time is getting low. This spike plan is massive. It needed to be done, but Qualanoop is clutch, and he'll win the round for NAVI.
It's a shame. I like the idea on the 2v3. It was pretty cool.
There is just none left for BBL there. Sociable at the very least able to sidestep the salvos and secure that rifle as any kind of remainder.
Koala, yeah, it's good impact so far, right?
But the op has been repossessed by Koala Noob.
Okay, you're gonna see Hero probably do aggro
nice use
camera.
Of the ult from both teams to just clear space and make things ugly.
Ain't jump peeking that anymore.
Can be at the best of times.
I felt as if though that the pause from BBL, right? They're trying to bait something out, but
guys, we are doing super fine. Guys, trust me, we are doing super fine. Right now,
seems as if they're still confident in what they're doing, but
okay, picks up the op, gets it thrown over. We got, dude, what a big round this is. 1, 2, 3, the combi next. 1, 2, 3, the combi next.
On an island, but that's how he likes to play. BBL.
I didn't see it, but the camera's dead, right? So he did aggro camera, like I said. But this is nice from them, fighting over towards C.
Again, it's that info game that they
yeah, they want to try and protect it a little bit.
A tap of the cam, you know that no one's going to be in that.
I mean, Yampy says they're doing good, but they're very far away from the big ones to win them rounds.
The question is, do BBL still want to head into this, or do they expect an overextension from NAVI elsewhere? Because being posted outside of C, Magnum would have heard the drone for the reclear. They're going to still head straight into this.
Yeah, the op is ready.
Dude, it looked like they were super on top of it being here, but then they end up peeking before the smoke.
Leave that A site.
They were definitely trying to bait it out.
I'm still committed to this lurk, potential for a B pivot late, but once again it feels like BBL are running out of options. NAVI not quite cottoned onto it. Sentinel utility in the choke rather than Hobbit, so free entry to the site as far as they're concerned. But how does this post plant look? They've got to play aggressive again.
I mean, do you salvo off the back of that? Do you nade off the back of that? Grabbing that into salvos, that's pretty strong. 20 HP.
To escape with his life. Spike, though, has been confirmed. 3 players towards the B heaven.
BBL are a little isolated in how they're choosing to play this. Prophet space in Hobbit is huge, though, and he will continue to find value with his smoke to support. Oh, free haircut.
Yampy's lucky. Magnum isn't. That was pure skill.
Dude, BBL gonna win this?
NAVI taking
Dude, Koala probably wants to start saving soon.
For utility to come up, and with that, BBL are in position to win, and they'll convert. NAVI throw in the white till.
It's just not long enough left
And
on the
dude,
board for NAVI to make this
5v4
workable.
retake.
Shao peeking into a pack of players. You were thinking that could have
The
just
tail was a
continued to
little
build
bit
their
close, so
empire,
they
but it's a slow
win.
process.
They get a kill on Yampy,
As
then
it
they
has
probably
been
win
for
that.
both of these teams throughout groups
Yampy did good to
into
stay
the
alive,
playoff
because if
stage.
they spammed him through that smoke as well, they're going for this.
I mean, that's what you'd expect, right? You grow into it, I think, as well. When you
They've been
compare
3v4,
the two
but
teams,
they probably think
BBL,
their big win
Tinker
condition
with
is the AWP.
Agent, with comms,
They know
what's
if they
working
lose
for
this
them.
round,
NAVI
they're going to have to
always stayed
eco
with
on pretty
what
much
they're good at,
everyone.
right? The same comms
So
every
it's kind of
single
worth
time,
2, but if they
and
can
then
keep 3
build
guns,
up
they got a
the
better chance into
playbook
this
from
one.
there.
Not on this map,
It's
to be
not the
fair.
worst goal ever.
Lotus is where they like to make changes, so that is the playoff deviation that you're looking at. And Koala Noob's op, the consistency. Can he get another? It's Angel, the first in the firing line, and 11 looking on, waiting to try and find the kill. The dash out is exquisite.
He's alive for
Every
way
skill
too long
trade.
there. Koala,
Senses
maybe
players
double?
nearby, and
No
so he
way.
continues to walk forwards
Dude, he got
with the
none. I thought he was
pinfall,
going to maybe
still
get a
no player
double.
found, and NAVI are hanging around.
Yeah, and that gives them so much info over
BBL
towards here. They
will
spot
put those
3,
spikes
aggro
all
over
the way
towards
over
8,
on the
easy
C
call.
side. This is a
Surely
move
Yampy
race,
doesn't come out with a
and it sure
spike
can
on his
get there
own.
fast. It seems to be NAVI.
Yampy knows it's a 1v1, but he's going to back
Okay,
himself.
well, surely
So
Yampy's
Hero
just
goes
going to
down and
take the
seaside
1v1 and win
collapses
it.
yet again. The captain to courier the cargo over. As the spike goes down, it's another situation where you feel like NAVI are not going to show too much
Surely he
interest in
does,
this
yeah.
one.
I mean, he had
Should
backup, I
Magnet
guess, so
can
that they'd be able
also
to
go and
fight
be an
eventually, but
extra
there would never be a
instead
trade on it.
decides to support the rest of the pack.
If he
NAVI,
gets the kill, he wins the
they're
round.
wanting to save
I
for these
don't think it's a
rifles,
bad.
but it will eventually
bad
come
play.
to a point where they have to start moving forward.
I mean, money's incredible now, surely.
This one. You look at the money though, it's a decent enough decision.
Back-to-back
I think
saves.
you're also starting to see here as well how Koala Noob's op is factoring into what the macro looks like for NAVI. There's an interesting stat line that he hadn't actually bested another duelist player in a head-to-head with the op so far this event, up until you know, the last couple
Little
of weeks.
body shot.
Brooks, it finds the
What's
first
him running
of the
glove
exits as
over
this
armor
round
on a
does
send?
go to BBL
I mean,
and ties us up.
anything in ranked is
But the
fine,
point that I'm
but
trying to
on
make
pro
here
play,
is,
the
you know,
armor and
Flyer
flash on the
desk
send is
was
just
saying
too
it the other
strong.
week that the way to play against it, and whenever they clashed in challenges in NA, was that you're looking to meet him where he's going to be next rather than avoiding it. And I think you're starting to see that now with BBL, at least in terms of how they're opening some of these rounds.
Interestingly enough here, we will be moving into a timeout, and it's BBL that's called it of the two teams, and they've had 2 successful rounds, so I wonder, does the coaching staff, have they seen something that they can work on, work against? Well, it was BBL on our screens, but it's actually NAVI.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
hey,
dude, they had such a good start,
Maybe a
and
double
then
timeout? Maybe. Who knows?
Not again.
they lost, what, 2 swing rounds?
of
One
what
of them was
Navi will be
forced because they
talking about
decided to
here,
buy early on the 3rd
won
round for some reason.
4 out of the first 6 rounds. Taking a pistol away from BBL, prying one from their hands, a difficult task, as many know, sitting just above 70%.
Omen? Yeah, dude, Omen's so sick on
Stage
Ascent,
of
you
the
don't
game
really
as
want
well.
to change
There are some
Omen.
big ults coming up
One of the
for
best
both teams. You
A
can see it.
anchors.
The Armageddon on Shao, one off the showstopper. Koala Noob leading the charts. But then for BBL, it's that Rolling Thunder from Yampy, which at times has been a tell of where they are looking to execute, as they do build around and build off him quite substantially.
Just to confirm, it is a NAVI timeout, just in case. Just in case. I know it looked different in-game for us, but looking at this, big stat line, and I think
He's
as well,
reduced
like,
his
when you
fast
think
death
of
rate
how
from
dependable the
13%
utility that Angels
in
are, I think this is
2023
a
to
massive stat line.
8.9. Damn, that's pretty
Saving a
good.
penny or two from the pocket of Jack Igo. We know he was giving out bundles for every few first steps given away, and it looks like it would have been one for Hero, but it's Levin that adds to that.
My guy's palmer stunned with a op.
Bouncing back with a couple of his own, and BBL
that was pretty
are in
nice
the
from BBL.
driver's seat on C yet again.
But once again, Levin first death straight away traded out, and now BBL move into an advantage, and that what should be post-plan.
Yampy's going around the map, tapping the
BBL
plant.
trying to swing that with their own utility.
That's funny.
It's ultimates to come back in here though if Navi want to
He
use
went,
them.
he went from one to the other, then back into the middle.
I mean, Magnum's going to disrespect this smoke solo. Looks like he's just waiting to walk in.
Don't have to
Close
do
and
it.
personal, the Sheriff of Angel.
Don't do it.
It's the best
Okay,
course
good.
of action.
Wondering if Magnum was going to send it there.
Already and tried to spot out the first set. Angel's got so far
Nice shot,
ahead of
Yampy.
this, but Yampy keeps half an eye on the situation, knowing that in that
Oh,
head-to-head
God.
he's so often lost. This one isn't going to go away
Of
from
course
him.
he went for it.
Navi's still running it into the site, but this feels like a formality. Magnum running it down still, time playing against them. And there you have
not
it.
bad at all,
BBL
though.
trading down their
Navi
advantages
with the
perfectly.
losses can still buy
They
this one.
now
Everyone's
lead
in
on
about 4K.
Lotus.
I love how the BBL fans, you know, they had one chance to see their team go and play, and they've come in.
Yampy, dude, Yampy's having
to
some
support
impact,
here.
man.
You can hear
He
them
really
in the
is.
background, giving it advantage that BBL can now work with as they move through this attack. Rolling Thunder, perhaps not the Armageddon, the Annihilation to come.
It is the Armageddon.
Sorry,
mate. No,
apologies.
all good.
It's just we get deadlocked there. I hear
Big.
Annihilation.
It's
I mean,
double
like,
stuns, isn't it?
synonyms of
What do
one
you think
another.
they reworked Halo so his salvos were stuns? They just wouldn't do it.
That's what
They
the
like the
timeout
idea
would've
of
been all about.
refreshable
Navi
damage. He's too close
Ult
to
rounds
breach
build
if you do
from
that.
here. The strat book yet
Maybe
to
when
be
they run
shown.
out of ideas,
New
they'll do
change on
an
Lotus,
agent
it's
similar like that.
Koala right up the guts of B. Nothing given from that. Yumpy again with another big kill. 11 won't lose this time. So player advantage BBL. It's the A space they find themselves in with this time. And having spotted that sonic sensor down, they know the space is open.
I mean, nice shot.
That's crazy from Ruxig.
He's aggressive every single time. Rolling Thunder used to stall out the retake, but it's only one player caught, and it's fine.
Yampy's doing
can't
so
quite
much.
Get the transfer of the crosshair at the same time.
Nothing's
though.
going Navi's way.
Look at the post
A good
pass.
amount of
Yeah,
it's their
Rafael's
fault,
ult out
though.
of a tree.
Has to drop back because they knew the ult was coming in.
Oh, and they go still though. Navi, they've stalled out Profik onto the spike. They go. Profik
Oof,
needs
well,
to win that
there we
first
go. All we have
duel,
to do
but
is read that
can't
comment
quite
out.
do it. And Shao with 3 on the round. Massive.
They hit some nice
Navi
shots here, though. You
equal
got to give them that.
score.
Spirit, thanks so much for the Prime, bro. Appreciate the
It's
17 mums.
A
Thank
really
you for
strong
that.
position to be in now for Navi. They chose to start on the defense. You have to remember
Give
they
him
are
3
playing double
missiles, no
sentinel.
recharge.
Expectation
You
is
don't want to
they
see that,
lead this
man.
half,
The after
especially
plan
with
will
the
be
way that they
horrendous.
started it. Just getting back on track as things
That's
stand,
one
but
person on their
BBL
own just
still
having an
have
insane
a lot
delay.
to throw at them. Talking of Ruxig, I mean, this guy was lights out against Vitality. Felt like whoever was on the Omen, him or Koala, was the one causing issues. This is just something
That
BBL
means
have
if you're
to be
close
aware
enough, you'd
of.
have to
Punish
tap
him
the
as much as
spike 3
possible.
times before they can actually commit to a half. Like, it would be a nightmare.
BBL.
Yeah, if you weren't close enough, they could probably get a half, I guess.
Reset,
But
go back towards looking around the map. 3 towards the A side, and still priority put on the extremities rather on B.
You've been getting huge value out of
top 5
being
teams at
proactive
Toronto? I'm
on
not sure,
B
man.
as well.
I want to see.
Shao,
Dude,
soon to
Gen
be
G
called.
RRQ will
It's
give me a good
actually
idea. I
Angel
want to see how
that
these 2
dropped.
teams start
I'm
looking.
not sure what the plan was there, but Navi had 2 players peeking.
That's a big game. Dude,
Info
a
back to
BBL
BBL
just
and
getting
with
the
spike
fast pick
headed towards A.
in like 80% of the
Where they will
rounds.
aim to finish. What would be their 6th round?
Navi trying to be proactive here. And Angel's got a great call on the round. The thing for me though, is this is a must-win for Navi when you look at the money.
It's a really heavy over rotate.
Waiting to peek back out the smoke. The paranoia prepared. It catches onto a couple players. Ruxig, that's huge utility usage. The rest of Navi profit from it. But still, health pool is low.
Oh, he
Sociables
might
picked up a Phantom.
isolate
That's
to
the first player.
1v1s.
The healthy one draws.
10 HP.
Ruxig is gone, and there's only one more standing in his way. Sociable shifts from the door, and Hero just re-clears.
30 seconds left.
But the spike is his. And with 6 bullets.
Well, we're swinging one
and the
by
whole
one.
window
He
broken
wanted
by
to
those
catch
salvos at
because
the
they didn't
start of
have
the round.
info
Means that
around the map.
dominoes
He
have
wanted to
fallen
catch him as
in
he's
the
trying to
direction that sets
go
him
through
up.
the door.
Thing is, though,
And he ended up giving him a
towards the
1v1.
side,
It's not what you wanted to
utility's
do,
still
especially with the
up.
Cypher
You can
alive.
tap
I
that
think if there's
cam,
other
see
agents
towards
alive on
waterfall,
defense, I kind of be
one
okay with
player
it,
isn't
but
10 seconds
majority of
Hero
the
has
time it's not a
information to
thing,
work with
especially
here.
with the Cypher. It's not a thing. You got so much info everywhere around the map.
Yeah, salvos and the ult. So
Like
Hero is
even if he
already
goes
playing
B
with
here,
borrowed
you
time
eliminate
and
a
borrowed
big
health.
factor that he hasn't gone over
Has to
towards
get
B
a move on
main.
here. Sociable knowing that he's low.
No cage.
Doesn't wanna reload
Salvos,
either,
so he knows
give
that he's
away
got to
another
tap it. Then
ult
after
angle.
Salvo, he's got to deal with the ult.
So he'll play the slow game. Hero now finally arriving on site. First of the salvos coming out as a precautionary measure.
Yeah, here
by
comes the ult.
Sociable. Can Hero hold his nerve? He's not going to be given half a chance. That's the ult. Straight back in. But still there's time to pull this off. He has to get onto the spike right now.
Is there
and
time to
it
pull it
off.
off?
Sociable has played
really,
the timing
mate?
perfectly.
Well,
loose all the
you don't see it much longer.
Dude,
Dude, when you have that ult in a 1v1, it's pretty much impossible to lose, it feels like. With the NAVI misplay it.
And also Ruksik. But everyone forgets about Sociable, the 28-year-old rookie.
I was going to say something, I can't remember what I was
The
going
eldest
to say.
rookie in VCT EMEA since partnerships began, but you can already see why his teammates put so much trust in him.
1v1? I mean, this was a
Someone who's been
1v2.
made to play multiple roles, but since he has shifted into this Teho, it feels like that is the perfect fit, as it's a red.
Might have even been a 1v3. I can't remember if it was like straight insta trade or not.
With a bit more venom,
I feel
BBL
like
back to A again.
NAVI have lost every impactful round apart from one. Oh god.
BBL winning out this A fight, and they continue on as they try to hunt down Shao, but he's able to escape.
BBL have access to the A site again though. Cairo, Hero the only player with a Vandal in hand. He's the closest spy. If he drops, and all of the rest fall like a house of cards, and there you have it. Opposite number shut down. Magnum giving us what
How did they end with 7 here? How could you win pistol and mess that up so badly?
Yeah, this is in line with
They
what
bought
we
on the
expect
3rd,
from
they
NAVI
had
as
to
well
eco on the
the
4th.
defense.
And then they lost like
Shao, though, does
3
have utility to work
1v1s.
with. Against 3,
A
I mean, you're
1v2
just
or a
expecting BBL to
1v3.
close this out.
And then they lost every single important round and majority of the fast kills.
They get out of tree now. Again, just not enough time to even consider the possibility of this round being
Definitely a
won
good
by
example
NAVI.
of why,
That's it.
in my
BBL
opinion,
confirm their
the NA
advantage.
buy like
It's going to be a 7-5 half in
comes
their
back to
favor.
bite you too hard if you lose it.
I mean, again, I just touched on it. This is what we expect from NAVI, but with that double sentinel on attack now, how does that work? But with that being said, let's hear from Yampi on how much it'd mean for BBL to make it to Masters Toronto.
Was a 1v3 at its peak? Yeah, that's what I thought. Dude, that extra peek over towards door was so rough. Two ops and an outlaw, what the hell?
I think for playoffs, our mentality is pretty straightforward. We want to qualify to Toronto. I think the stage 1 especially showed that we can do it. We are working every single day towards that and together as a team.
Nice. Main defuse. I will defuse. I managed to have 2 bullets. Nice defuse, please. You can't kill him. Just kill him.
I think if we qualify to Toronto, for me personally, it's another statement that I can be a tier 1 player. I was very, very close going back to tier 2 this year, and making Toronto is kind of mark that I can be a tier 1 player, and for the team, it would be an unbelievable experience.
Holy. Well, he's at least given himself a good shot at it for next year as well, I imagine, with this.
With the advantage on their own map pick of Lotus, one which they've not
The longest game,
all
the
that often.
Ascent
NAVI
game, yeah,
themselves
for
have
sure.
shown it in
It was
spells,
madness.
but when they do, that often comes with change. Now into yet another pistol round. The
Yeah,
question
piece development
is
from
going
Jet to
be,
IGL.
can they
Dude, his
tie us
Jet
up
was
early,
crazy as well.
show
I mean,
us
you got to
the
see when
value
we first saw his Jet,
of
he'd
these
only spent
changes?
like 2 weeks on the game.
Or will we see more smiles from the audience as BBL have
But he's got
brought
incredible
numbers
work ethic, so
I mean, that's it,
it'll always
right?
be good.
On a day where history could be made, one away from making it to a Masters event for the first time for BBL. And you've got to be thinking, NAVI as well, it's been
The
a
coach was the
long
longest
time
overtime game I
since
was
they've
part
been
of.
amongst the
Not
top
even sure.
in the world in Valorant.
There was one on Zash, there's one on
ongoing process for
Reykjavik,
both of these
second
teams
Reykjavik
from
that was quite long
different
against
places.
Sasha. I can't remember how many
There is
overtimes
just
it
a
was.
reminder that we have alluded to a couple of times already.
Double Sheriff.
That's what makes a big
NAVI
difference.
1-0
I
on the
think
pistols,
the
which
thing for me
makes
is
this
if we do see
a lot
BBL
worse.
start to then kick on, how comfortable can it be? Can they keep it clean? 'Cause I have
Osamui,
to
thank you
say
so
at
much, dude.
times
Good to see you again,
left a
bro.
couple of
Thank you for
these
the
rounds
32
hanging.
months.
NAVI are
Appreciate
not
the
the sort
prem.
of team that you can give that space, and so Sociable's already put his foot down, and it's Angel gone.
It's a big loss. You think of the initiation on the double sentinel composition, and it really comes from that deadlock. BBL have an idea about this C play, especially with the spike being over towards this side. You can see Cypher being kept on B.
Dude, look how much space Navi have early though. They got everywhere apart from B main. Okay, well, that's an MTA site. Spike's gonna have to cross the double hold though. Oh, he committed? Damn, he committed and got one though. You gotta smoke, Roxic, you're fine.
It's the spike drop though, as you say, and Ruxic has to find a way to follow
He
this
was
up.
late on that smoke. He got so much space from it.
Does Levin leave it? Yeah, he does.
Happy with the 3v3 now, not giving Navi the advantage. At the same time, BBL, you look towards Yampi, moving through C Mound.
DLV, hello mate. Hello.
Here.
Doing good, bro. How you doing?
You can see BBL's defense just being a little worried about the space that Navi's taken because they've had so much time on this side of the map.
Dude, the overview sound is so delayed.
From one another, but you can see the setup is inclined towards upper. They're grouping there, but BBL coming in through stairs.
Dude, they are locked in, man. Koala's got a nade though.
And it does look good. The blast pipe was even
How? How's he winning that? No way, and he gets another one. I'm not sure he should be alive here. He's trying to go for a wider swing because he's dodging the nade.
That they've won.
And that's kind of saved him there.
Even though they are the kings of pistol rounds, BBL.
And it's the exact same way that Navi kicked off that win, which came as a shock to many against Vitality. They won both pistols on the opening map of Haven.
Oh, dude, he just swings when he sees him first on the radar as well. That's pretty cool.
Far more, closely cut,
sees him on the radar, just goes to angle, just spams with the sheriff.
Exactly what he can do. A player who, moving on into that next game, that qualification
dude, double pistol,
Toronto
man.
Mean so much. Chance for a homecoming. In front of a crowd, of course, with his own wife and child. I mean, it means so much for these players. That goes without saying.
BBL trying to create a trap play towards the A side. It seems like Navi are ready to fall for it as they move in.
BBL's pistol rate, I mean, it goes down pretty heavy from that.
Only one left towards C.
In the 60s now.
Bodies up here, but it is just Levin's upgraded pistol that they
Four
have.
pass, well, 3-person hold on A. They're allowed 2 deaths. We've got human drone scouting everywhere. There's no way. Okay, they only lose the sheriff though. That is a rifle, and there's no one here to stop them from picking this up, so that is a mistake for sure. Oh, and now they're pivoting over towards here, and they don't know about Levin.
This could be massive for BBL.
I think
instead.
they messed it up again.
Deals with players that were left towards the A side. Angel only on a pistol, and Ruxic with that Vandal. There's nothing that can really rescue. In fact, sorry, there's one towards Mound. Timing.
Door opens up.
No way. Magnum's going to peek out and Ruxic's going to find him.
I mean, it looks like he's running on that, but fair play.
Well, that rifle that BBL had is gone. It still looks towards Navi, although the Sheriffs might be able to kill.
Big round for BBL. Dude, Navi, double pistol. But they messed up the bonus round on the first pistol, and they messed up the anti-eco against the eco in the second round. You don't deserve to win the map when you're doing that kind of stuff. Koala kind of misstepped, or at least if he has to go here, he needs to have other numbers like with him.
BBL as a team, we know that they're super dangerous.
Like I get the salvo, like the idea is nice from BBL. You smoke off, you salvo, and you stun.
In the league so far.
Someone's gonna send it through that smoke now.
Navi, they're third from bottom when it comes to that statistic.
It's a nice little eco. Smoke, salvo, stun. Isolate back of sight, kill everyone back of sight, pick up the guns.
Straight like that.
That cape is stripped right from his bag. Levin.
And crispy shots.
Something out of top draw from Levin. His time is on rails. 3 quick kills. There wasn't all too much behind this from Navi. It's the context in which it's just stripped away. As Sociable sent them up to a 9th.
Every time, I don't know what it is, Levin just has these pop-off rounds. You name a match and you can think
Navi,
one,
dude,
right?
they used to be... I mean, when they were back on FPX, at least if you're speaking of just like Angel, I mean, he was in charge of the team that was literally the best at anti-ecos and the 3rd round.
One of their own. A player
Like
to
they won
celebrate.
Copenhagen by basically having a 70% win rate on the third round from winning pistols.
Looking to take it one step further.
Basically
this
snowballed
playoffs.
their way to a win.
For every round that he's had where he's gone down early and maybe been traded or even worse, not had impact, you get a couple like this from time
Damn it,
to
it's greedy,
time,
but he's got away
where
with
Evan
it.
is just tying them all up together.
They're just
Nobody
way
can
better
get
on this
past
map.
him.
Navi messed up two,
Cracks
well,
the whip,
Navi
you're
messed up a
past
lot
two.
of vital rounds, but
It's a
too
two-player
early on
advantage,
either
which
half.
Navi will leave unanswered.
I mean, Navi still sitting B main, but you've still got that Cypher trap that will notify anybody trying to break through. Angel tries to come through the door, Sociable wins
He
that
still got him.
1v1. When it comes to gunfights, it's all BBL at the minute.
Evan still just looking over from upper. The bulk of BBL's
Yeah, just
retake
looking for
is
a kill.
coming in
No
from
one's
the
give it
A
to him.
side. But already you can see Yumpy as the sole custodian of the C site. Just trying to backstop this.
2v4? Nah, it
arrive
should be
soon
impossible.
enough.
With how
It's
Yumpy's
all on
playing it,
him.
it should be impossible.
Koala's first up. And Joe,
Oh,
see
boy.
him giving away his positions though. Last pack out,
For
Koala
God's
wins
sake,
that.
no.
C-side is now open.
There's
That's the
no
jump
way.
which Navi
Dude, what was that
desperately
peak?
needed. Shao just fluffing his lines
Whoa.
a little bit on the plant, but it allows the showstopper to come back
What
through.
the
Damage,
hell?
no kill.
3
Profit
HP
lives
survived on this
3.
one?
BBL has
No way,
many
it's actually a
players with the
2v4 at the
first
moment.
of
So
falls.
doable.
Finally kicked
Whoa,
over the
it's a
threshold.
bold
Shao
swing.
finding one,
You got your ult,
but
you're gonna be
he
tempted.
needs all the rest. Ult available.
They might feel
The
like he's playing
salvos
after plant because
and
of
the
the
stun.
agent he's on.
In this committed corner, it's so much you ask of him. He's already got the.
Oh my god, this is close for a 2v4 though. Just holding on BBL on that. Dude, I thought Yumpy was going to be so fine. He's in such a good pause.
They're really making Navi's economy look dreadful. Levin, once he's moved on to this defense, his first kill percentage, absolutely insane. His team's setting him up perfectly. It's this fight back, and this is what always worries me about BBL. A little bit of sloppiness once they're in front.
He does the perfect jiggle pick without doing it.
Yeah, his fast one for the jaw.
Yumpy complimentary. Interesting to hear from him after that foot game, sort of saying as well, if there's no sound coming from me, they're in my head. And if my voice is hoarse, then, you know, I'm in their head. And I have to say right now,
Jaws, thank you
I feel
so
like
much.
he's had to shout,
I
yet
appreciate
still
the bits,
rounds
mate.
are
Thank you for
flowing
that.
through. With Navi calling another timeout at this stage in the game, it's what I circle back to that I mentioned earlier. We've seen BBL a number of times now go up of a scoreline, you know, 11-6, give or take.
What can Navi do? I mean, dude, they
saw
get
it
A
against
main
Gentlemates when they
control
played
for
Lotus
free,
on this
so
exact same
they got
map.
that going for them. But I
They were
imagine right
leading
here,
by 5
you'd
rounds,
imagine
but they
BBL go
couldn't
back
close on the
right.
defense, the same position that they find themselves in here. Same on Ascent against Foot when we went to the million overtime.
This is not Navi from last week. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous for their
just wanna
maps, I'm
know
not gonna lie to you.
that if they win this next round,
Not good maps for them.
can it be clean, or do Navi have something to respond? Because
Navi
they
has
do
the
need to
lowest
now.
eco
They do.
win rate
I
of
mean, that's
any
the big
playoffs
thing, though,
team
when
at
you look at the
13%.
socials aspect to it as well, what the players were tweeting. Magnum said
The
that
lowest
he felt that
eco win
BBL were
rate.
in the
Okay.
best shape
What's their
of
anti-eco
the
win rate?
season
That
so
doesn't seem
far,
good
and this was
either.
the time to show it. And as you said, they can't let this lead slip, especially not against Navi, who's, as you've seen on that stat line, equal percentage win
OLED
rate
Chainsaw,
has
thanks so
been
much as well.
dreadful.
Hold up, let me
Not
read
that
this in a
he'd have
sec.
much of a chance, but
I saw Wingman in there, I'm
here
not sure I'm going to enjoy
already
it.
looks bad.
Nice
It's
flash.
sociable. It's teed
Really
up
nice flash on
brilliantly.
this.
So comfortable for BBL as well. Looking at the matchup
Is
between
this quoting me?
the now in-game
OLED,
leaders,
thank you so much for the bits, mate.
Yumpy, many of his duels against Angel taken from the second seat.
I think for me, like coming into this, oh wait a minute, look towards C-Mound, this operator.
Well, at least it wasn't a buy round for
Is looking, but he's
Navi,
just
but
gonna dash out of there. Navi not given
once
a
you
thing.
add a
And
double
as soon
pistol
as
onto
contact
this,
hit,
this
you
is
know
an
it's 2 players,
absolute
smoke goes
slaughter.
up, Sociable's there by the door. And he's gonna guard it with his life. It's an in-zone flawless. BBL have their 11th.
Not a
as
chance, Jaws.
expected.
Don't even think about it.
But in terms of those micro improvements, can they finally show some for us here?
Yeah, and I think as well, one thing that is always massive about Sociable in these multi-frags is how quick he's able to get these ultimates back up. The Armageddon, for instance, it's come back up again.
Dude, they have so many good ults. Well. I mean, they should just be winning this round. The problem is the money's so insane that BBL can just lose 3 in a row and they're still buying.
Of this side, at least in terms of how they're trying to take early space. Magnum.
I like this from BBL. There's so many ults for them to worry about. They can't sit back and wait on a site. They want to try get an early pick.
Looking towards Sand though, and just before the tailwind expires, he does fire off one shot.
This is massive.
This is crazy.
Yeah, dude, what an angle that is.
Literally sat on top of the trip.
That's a sick off angle that you can get to from the passive trip.
Levin not given the C space to hold on to yet, but he's going to go straight back in.
I mean, the Nuno theft has lit everyone up, but Levin's just sending it in, and the timing's insane!
I didn't mean it literally, but the shorty's out, and he very nearly found himself a second, converging from both ends. Prophet and Magnum doing their best. BBL still in a strong position, but
it gets close now.
It ain't bulletproof. Prophet dropping, and now a 2-on-2. Koala Noob trying to move it forwards, but it's Xiao instead. It'll send the needle in Navi's favour.
That's
number 7, and that's warning signs for BBL.
Give me Xiao's POV there. He's just completely saved him. It's a shame. I feel like I kind of feel like Yampy outcalled Angel here, like barrier down. Like this triple push over towards B is sick.
Very well in the mid round to get on towards C. The ultimate usage good. Just need to be a little bit more aware of the timings that BBL are trying to take.
Oh, salvo to force this guy out. Okay.
Being so stop-start as well.
Shots though.
You can tell the reason why they want to get investigative. Hero so often.
They only use one ult into it as well, and Xiao, after using his ult, is halfway to his ult anyway.
Since his rookie year,
this is my only worry for BBL is they get A main, but I mean they don't use any util.
Slow, scaling up. They can't flash.
I think when you only have one initiator, I don't know if you should be having it for free this much.
Tension is shown.
Melly, hello. Watching the Yampy game. Thanks so much for the tier 1. Appreciate that. Speaking of Yampy, what is he doing? Yampy, relax, man.
That's a lot of your retake util gone.
Someone found his timing, and the sonic sensor did go off. And well, it looks like Navi are going to have a well clear advantage here as the annihilation goes off. BBL, they've left sociable to try and get something.
Yeah, they got
he wants to keep this.
I mean, they can still buy, especially if they save this.
Because as soon as that first player goes down,
they're probably going to call it timeout
and
just tell them to chill a little bit. Because if you actually look at how they're playing the rounds, even some of the rounds that they've lost, this is not a good example. But the round before, like their ideas are just better at the moment.
An 11-6 scoreline, that gap of 5, they are right on the 11th round, right on the brink of greatness. As this team as a whole is, as their story has been
he doesn't need to do this.
Ushering in a new era.
The timing was just really off.
After 4 years as an organization, finally given something to shout about.
Is the audio laggy? Only when we go to overviews.
On the international stage, no longer
yeah,
in the
this is just a timeout. I think just to, it doesn't even need to be anything tactical, even though I think they should probably be going aggro A. I don't think they should be letting them have this space. But I think also they're it's probably just a timeout to tell them to chill. Like you look at the buy rounds, they're playing better at the moment.
You can totally understand why BBL have.
But if they are going to do anything different, they're going aggro A.
Just to talk about things and settle
because maybe a
nerves of the team,
double sentinel comp shouldn't be having A for free this much.
Position, your own map pick, so close to finishing it out. And you don't
Heretics qualified already? No, no one's qualified in the EMEA yet.
Give up their leads when they're in front.
And from the NAVI perspective, something so important for them is simply stability. We'd seen those first few series have to be extended to a deciding map for them to have a chance at winning it out. But it's what the players were talking about. Okay, we can 13-0 GX on a map, but then we lose 2-0 against Heretics the next. Then you know follow that up with this huge Vitality win. But then if you drop to BBL in that opening round and you have to face KC and lowers, then you lose the advantage. All these mental margins that they've been stressing with the performance coach Zuza coming in and bringing a lot of value to that team environment.
Yeah, and I think as well when we look at the Heretics game, Navi cited that
Okay, money's finally in the point where it can be broken because they're buying an op. I guess it's a little bit lower than I thought. Heavy armors also.
Using that drone to gain the information and create.
Dude, still nothing aggro A. They still get aggro A all the time. That does scare me.
Over there.
Levin sticking to his guns, or op in this sense. Just signposting BBL authority on C. There are loads of players towards the other side.
No way.
Into
Got
Magnum they go.
tanks down to
Double,
51 and got
defensive
double.
line drops back. The perimeter plays.
Oh god, everyone's
Perfect
messing
runs
up.
out of bullets, but it's a 4v2 when the dust settles and a chance for the defense to reset.
Lucky boy that Sociable has his utility up, and now the rest of BBL look towards A, but there is a slight gap, and that's towards stairs.
Hero wants to be the thorn in their side, but Levin already has this covered. BBL have moved over. If the long rotation comes in towards C, then it's not a problem. They're set up for that retake.
On towards the spike. Hero can't really protect Koala from this position. It's left
He
all up
forces
to the
him to
race
the
to get that spike
more
down, and
passive
BBL
plan.
play patient. Would rather play with the numbers, and
4v2.
Levin up against Hero.
Dude, he's fast,
It goes
man.
BBL's way, and they'll find
It's so funny. Like on LAN, you can tell by people's pre-aim, like they're ready for the more committed swing. It's just out the babiest swing I've ever seen.
In terms of how they approach the round, you've got Levin really pushing the envelope on Sand, getting that op into a dangerous position. Magnum takes a bit of damage through the tree, but matters not. He gets his double. One more here from Prophet. I'm not too sure what Ruxic was planning there with the jump peak wide. Maybe just for the trade.
I think he just
even
didn't think
then,
he was there.
Prophet with barely a bullet to his name gets out. So it all comes down to this.
Okay, 4.
Finally, we see the op duel on both sides. Koala bringing it to
Dude,
the attack.
BBL don't even
Sand
need
is
to go
where it goes
aggro.
down.
I think that's fair.
Can the Canadian come out on top?
Nice peek on that.
Brilliant entry, and he's away.
Bringing
so
back the
quick
jump peak.
on the operator. Look at the players playing within the smoke, looking to destroy the drone and play it in front.
Oh, that's...
A little bit aggressive, BBL.
Still a trap up here for
Sure.
Magnum, but he's
I mean,
playing.
that's the original
to the
plan.
side of it
I don't know
when
how
his
many
coach goes
the...
in. I don't know they
Oh,
expect
hold
this
up.
position at all. Oh,
Hold up.
Magnum could be in for
Dude,
huge
Magnum's
value,
going
and he
huge
is.
in the last 2 rounds.
Diamond Hands holds on for a little longer.
He's
Finally
locked
put
behind the
down
cage.
into the mud
That's
and the
so
mesh where it
sick.
lands.
Oh my goodness.
And be hitting a stun. Oh, you can't quite capitalize on it though. Hero stepping to
Dude, what is
salvos.
this round? Nice shot.
But stepping out of dodge with an extra kill to his name, and that's the round for NAVI.
Okay, let's count this one down. 4 to 3.
Still close
And
between these two.
Sociable could drop an op if they really thinking it's
There's a lot of unlucky timings.
important.
And I think as well, Koalanub with this operator on the attack. He was saying in the NAVI post-split 1 regular season roundup.
Yeah, I don't know. He sees 2 on the radar there and he goes for it. He does kind of sell this bait though.
Talking about how he played, that comfortability, and he said he really found that in the last game. As for this map, I've not really seen it as much, but that last round shows me that it can come here and there.
Ruxic burning half of his utility belt in that opening exchange. Only a little ground garnered.
Evan. The cams
OLED, thank you so much for the gifted, bro. I appreciate you doing that. What is that name? Thank you so much, mate.
First shot reveals it all. But still the spike is outside of C. Posturing towards Sand. Evan waiting for this one player to walk in. It's the lurk of Hero. And when he falls, NAVI have struggled to maintain that map pressure. BBL could have them exactly where they need him.
Okay, NAVI don't really have much map control. Smoke goes in drone because they realize they need to take somewhere. CB control now. Still a little bit of A control, but they don't have some kind of trap play for this. 40 seconds. They want a B split.
Not yet given the shakedown. It's 4 players in lobby now that Levin faces up against, and Angel wins it this time, but Magnum finds his.
Dude, Magnum is doing so much.
They're doubling back.
Yeah, they are doubling back, and with that though, you've got
I'm an all over towards C. Doesn't spot any. Tells them to go over towards B. C, sorry. Spotted close. They haven't spotted behind the box though.
15 seconds or so once you hit the neck of the site. Prophet dealing further damage. Forced to give it up for the retake.
Yampi
BBL
still has
have
damage to
tools,
stop the
but
plant.
As this round has dragged on, look what Navi have used up.
Wait,
This is gonna get
I was gonna say that's gonna kill him. That's gonna kill him. Hero 40 could plant it. He might not have any time. Oh, dude, Hero 40 could plant it. He had to dodge the damage.
All of that
He
from
fully
an
timed it.
aftershock. Yampi saving onto key
Yeah, the breach
utility.
damage. Dude, the
And as we
breach.
put
Yampi
it
did
was
good,
a war of
man.
attrition, which
Yampi
BBL
did
were
really
happy
good.
to play.
Dude, this was
As the
Navi
rounds
can't be playing like this
ground
in
down,
playoffs.
and that
So
second half came up. They were finally
can't be
able
playing like
to
this in
see it
playoffs.
through
Double
a lot
pistol, you
more
lose this badly.
confidently than they have done in times gone by.